The deep silence of space surrounded the UES Prometheus as it glided through the darkness near Alpha Centauri. The massive battleship, over 2 kilometers long, represented the pride of Earth's unified space fleet. Its black hull absorbed nearby starlight, making it look like a moving shadow against the cosmic background. Captain Robert Harris stood on the bridge, his experienced eyes scanning the holographic displays floating before him. After 20 years in Earth's Space Force, he still felt amazed every time he looked at his ship's capabilities. The Prometheus carried enough firepower to level a continent, yet moved with the grace of a much smaller vessel. "Captain, I'm picking up some unusual readings," Lieutenant Emily Foster called out from her tactical station. Her fingers danced across the glowing control panel as she analyzed the data. Multiple objects approaching from Sector 7. "They're moving fast." Harris straightened his blue uniform and walked to her station. "Show me." The main screen lit up with dozens of red dots moving toward their position. Each dot represented a ship, and their formation suggested military training. Harris felt his heart rate increase, but his voice remained calm. "Send out the standard greeting package on all frequencies." Rachel Cooper, the communications officer, nodded and transmitted Earth's carefully prepared first contact message. They waited, the bridge crew holding their breath. The response came 30 seconds later. "Sir," Cooper's voice shook slightly. "They're responding, but it's not friendly. Their language patterns show aggressive intent." Before Harris could respond, the alien fleet launched their first attack. Bright energy beams cut through space toward the Prometheus. Lieutenant Foster's hands flew across her console, activating the ship's defensive systems. "Shields holding at 100%, she reported, surprise evident in her voice. "Their weapons are powerful, but our new barriers are handling it well." Harris allowed himself a small smile. The aliens had no way of knowing that Earth's shield technology had evolved far beyond what any other civilization thought possible. The Prometheus wasn't just Earth's first deep space battleship. It was a technological marvel that had been kept secret for exactly this kind of situation. "Give me ship-wide," Harris ordered. When the channel opened, he spoke clearly and confidently. "All hands, this is the captain. We have encountered hostile forces and are about to engage in Earth's first interstellar battle. Remember your training. Remember what we stand for." Battle stations. Red alert klaxons sounded throughout the massive ship. In engineering, Chief Engineer David Wilson and his team rushed to bring the main fusion antimatter reactors to full power. The massive engines hummed with energy, ready to prove that humanity's innovations could stand against any threat. The alien fleet spread out, trying to surround the lone Earth vessel. Their ships were sleek and organic-looking, with curved lines that suggested centuries of refinement. But they had never encountered anything like the Prometheus before. "Sir, they're broadcasting some kind of ultimatum," Cooper reported, her translation software working overtime. "They're calling themselves the Zarkax Confederation. They're demanding our immediate surrender." Harris sat in his command chair, his posture relaxed but alert. "Send them our response, Lieutenant Foster." Foster's fingers moved across her console, and the Prometheus's forward batteries came alive. Advanced rail guns, each capable of launching projectiles at a significant fraction of light speed, took aim at the nearest alien vessel. The quantum torpedo launchers powered up, their synthetic gravity fields warping space itself. "Response sent, sir," Foster said with a slight grin. The first alien ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light as rail gun rounds tore through its shields like they weren't even there. The Zarkax fleet reacted with surprise, their formation breaking apart as they realized their prey was far more dangerous than they had assumed. Multiple enemy ships adjusting their shield frequencies, Foster reported. "They're trying to adapt to our weapons." "Let them try," Harris said calmly. "Helm, execute attack pattern Delta. Show them what this ship can do." The Prometheus moved with impossible grace for a vessel its size, its revolutionary drive system allowing it to dance between enemy energy beams. More alien ships opened fire, their weapons harmlessly splashing against Earth's superior shields. As the battle began in earnest, Harris couldn't help but think about how long humanity had prepared for this moment. The Prometheus wasn't just a ship. It was humanity's statement to the galaxy. A statement that said Earth wouldn't be an easy target for any alien power that thought they could bully a younger civilization. The stars themselves seemed to watch as humanity's first interstellar battle began, and the legend of the ship that struck fear into the stars was about to be born. The Zarkak's fleet's admiral watched in disbelief as the human ship survived another barrage of their most powerful weapons. His tentacles writhed in frustration as he ordered his ships to increase their attack power. No single vessel should be able to withstand such an assault. Back on the Prometheus, Chief Engineer David Wilson stood in the engine room, watching his displays with pride. The ship's shields glowed bright blue on his monitors, absorbing everything the aliens threw at them. His team had spent 5 years perfecting this technology, and now it was paying off. "Engine room to bridge," Wilson called out, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. "The shield design is working better than we expected, Captain. Their weapons are actually feeding power back into our systems." On the bridge, Captain Harris nodded at this news. "Good work, David. Dr. Crawford, how's our drive holding up?" Dr. Linda Crawford, her gray hair tied back in a neat bun, checked her readings at the propulsion station. The fusion antimatter drive she had designed hummed perfectly, letting them move in ways that seemed to break the laws of physics. "The drive is performing beautifully, Captain," she replied. "The aliens can't predict our movements because they don't understand how we can turn so quickly. Their targeting computers must be going crazy." The Prometheus spun on its axis, avoiding a cluster of torpedoes from the alien fleet. The massive ship moved like a dancer, its 2-kilometer length seeming to ignore the normal rules of space combat. The Zarkak ships, despite their advanced technology, couldn't land a solid hit. "Send a message to their flagship," Harris ordered. "Tell them we're giving them one chance to retreat." Before Cooper could send the message, 3 more Zarkak ships appeared from hyperspace. These were larger than the others, with weapons that made the bridge crew pause. The new ships fired immediately, their beams so powerful they lit up space like newborn suns. The impact rocked the Prometheus, but the shields held firm. In engineering, Wilson laughed out loud. "Bridge, you won't believe this, but those new weapons just charged our shields to 120% capacity. The aliens had just discovered one of humanity's greatest secrets. The more power they used against the Prometheus, the stronger it became. The shield design didn't just block attacks, it absorbed them, turning enemy fire into usable energy." Dr. Crawford's voice filled with excitement as she reported, "Captain, with this much extra power, I can give you maximum thrust for the next 10 minutes. We can outmaneuver anything they have." Harris smiled. "Do it. Lieutenant Foster, prepare to show them our main gun." The Prometheus's hull began to shift, plates moving aside to reveal a weapon that took up nearly a quarter of the ship's length. The aliens had been so focused on their attack that they hadn't noticed the massive railgun being assembled. "What they don't know," Foster explained to the bridge crew, "is that we built this ship around its main weapon. Everything else, the shields, the drive, even the hull, it's all designed to support this one gun. The weapon charge, drawing power from the overcharged shields. In engineering, Wilson and his team worked frantically to channel the energy properly. One mistake would tear the ship apart. The Zarkak's fleet noticed the weapon too late. Their ships began to turn, trying to move out of its firing arc. But the Prometheus's superior maneuverability, courtesy of Dr. Crawford's drive system, kept them perfectly lined up. "Target locked," Foster announced. "Ready to fire." Harris stood from his chair, straightening his uniform. This moment would make history, the first time humanity revealed its true military capabilities to the galaxy. "Fire," he ordered. The main gun fired a single shot, a projectile the size of a small car, accelerated to near-light speed by the combined power of the ship's reactors and the energy stolen from the enemy's own weapons. The round struck the largest alien vessel and passed through it like it was made of paper, continuing on to pierce 3 more ships before its energy dissipated. The Zarkak's fleet froze in shock. 4 of their most powerful ships had just been destroyed by a single shot. The remaining vessels began to retreat, their formation breaking apart in panic. On the Prometheus's bridge, the crew watched in silence as the aliens fled. They had just proved that humanity, despite being new to interstellar travel, was not to be underestimated. "Send a message to Earth Command," Harris ordered. Tell them the Prometheus just rewrote the rules of space warfare." Commander John Martinez stood in the Prometheus's combat control center, watching the remaining Zarkak ships regroup. The aliens weren't giving up yet, despite losing 4 ships to the main gun. They were changing their tactics, spreading out to attack from all directions. "Status report," Martinez called out to his team. The combat center was located deep inside the ship, protected by layers of armor. From here, they controlled the Prometheus's many weapon systems. Stephen Brooks, the weapons officer, looked up from his station. "6 enemy ships remaining, sir. They're trying to surround us. But I've got something special waiting for them." He patted the quantum torpedo control panel with a grin. The quantum torpedoes were Earth's newest weapon. They were small, fast, and did something that the aliens thought was impossible. They created tiny holes in space itself. Captain Harris's voice came through the speakers. "Commander Martinez, you have permission to use the quantum torpedoes. Show them why Earth isn't a planet to mess with." Martinez nodded to Brooks. "Launch torpedoes, spread pattern alpha." Brooks pressed his hands to the control panel. 6 quantum torpedoes shot out from the Prometheus, each one targeting a different alien ship. The torpedoes looked like small silver fish swimming through space. The Zarkak ships tried to shoot down the torpedoes, but there was something strange about them. Their energy weapons passed right through the torpedoes as if they weren't there. "They can't hit them," Brooks explained to his team, smiling. "The torpedoes exist in 2 places at once. That's what quantum means. You can't shoot what isn't fully there." The torpedoes reached their targets. Instead of exploding, they created small black spheres next to each Zarkak ship. The spheres were tiny holes in space, not big enough to swallow a ship, but big enough to cause serious damage. 3 Zarkak's cruisers were caught by surprise. The holes in space pulled at their ships, ripping off pieces of their hull and destroying their engines. The alien crews had to abandon their ships before they broke apart completely. "Direct hits on 3 targets," Brooks shouted. "The other 3 ships are pulling back." Martinez grabbed the ship-wide comm. "All rail gun batteries. Target the retreating ships. Don't let them escape to warn their fleet." The Prometheus's smaller rail guns opened fire. These weren't as powerful as the main gun, but there were hundreds of them. They fired special rounds that split apart in flight, turning each shot into a cloud of high-speed metal. The space around the Prometheus lit up with gunfire. The remaining Zarkak ships tried to dodge, but there were too many rounds coming at them. Their shields, designed to stop energy weapons, did little against solid projectiles moving at such high speeds. 2 more alien ships exploded as the rail gunfire tore through them. The last Zarkak ship turned around, ready to make one final attack. Its captain had decided to go down fighting. "Incoming transmission," reported a voice from the bridge. "The Zarkak's captain is making a speech about honor and death." Martinez shook his head. "We don't need to destroy them. Brooks, disable their engines. Let's show them that humans can be merciful." Brooks adjusted his targeting computer and fired a precise shot. The round hit the alien ship's engine section, destroying its ability to move but leaving the rest of the ship intact. "Send them a message," Martinez ordered. "Tell them we'll give them time to evacuate to their escape pods before we destroy their ship. Let's show them that humanity isn't just powerful, we're also kind when we can be." The alien crew took the offer. Soon, Dozens of escape pods launched from the damaged ship. Once the pods were at a safe distance, a single railgun round destroyed the empty vessel. Combat control to bridge, Martins reported. All hostile ships have been neutralized. The battle is over, Captain. On the bridge, Captain Harris looked at the scene before him. Debris from destroyed Zarkak ships floated in space, along with their escape pods. The Prometheus had won its first battle without taking any serious damage. Send a message to those escape pods, Harris ordered. Tell them to deliver a message to their leaders. Earth is not a target. We are not prey. We are humanity, and we just proved we can stand against anything the galaxy throws at us. The Prometheus's victory would soon become a legend among the stars. The day a single Earth ship defeated a Zarkak's battle fleet would be remembered for centuries to come. News of the battle spread through the galaxy faster than light itself. Within days, the Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. The Prometheus's victory had scared many alien races, and they demanded answers about Earth's unexpected power. Rachel Cooper sat at her communications station on the Prometheus, listening to hundreds of alien transmissions. Her translation software worked overtime to keep up with all the messages flying through space. "Captain," she called out, "you need to hear this." She played a translated message through the bridge speakers. Alien voices spoke in worried tones about Earth's impossible technology and the threat it posed to galactic peace. Captain Harris rubbed his tired eyes. They had been parked near the battle site for 3 days, watching the Zarkaks recover their survivors. How many species are talking about us now? At least 30 different races, Cooper replied. Some are scared. Others are angry. They're all asking the same question. How did Earth get so powerful without anyone noticing? A new ship appeared at the edge of their sensors. It was smaller than the Prometheus, but clearly built for speed. It carried the markings of the Galactic Council. "Ambassador William Parker has arrived," Harris announced to his crew. Parker was Earth's first space diplomat, chosen to explain their actions to the Council. The ambassador's ship docked with the Prometheus. Parker walked onto the bridge, wearing a simple black suit. He looked calm, but his eyes showed worry. "Captain Harris," Parker said, shaking his hand, "we need to talk about how to handle this situation. The Council is demanding explanations that we can't give without revealing our secrets." Harris led Parker to the ship's conference room. Senior officers followed them in. The room's walls showed views of space around them, including the debris field from the battle. "The Council has 3 main questions," Parker explained. "First, they want to know how we built such advanced technology in secret. Second, they're asking why we hid our true capabilities. And third, they're worried about what else we might be hiding." Cooper, who had joined them, shared her latest findings. "Sir, I've been studying their reactions. Many species are now afraid to attack Earth, which is good. But some are talking about joining forces against us, which is bad." Harris looked at the battle debris on the screens. "Maybe it's time to tell them the truth, or at least part of it." Parker nodded slowly. "Earth's government agrees. We can't keep our secret forever, especially not after this display of power. But we need to be careful how we reveal it." They spent hours planning their response to the Council. They decided to tell a careful version of the truth. Earth had made huge advances in technology, but only because they had to protect themselves. The next day, Parker stood before the Galactic Council. The council chamber was huge, with seats for representatives from hundreds of species. Many seats were empty. Some races were too afraid to attend. Parker spoke clearly and calmly. "Honored members of the Council, Earth did not want to reveal its strength this way. We built the Prometheus to protect ourselves, not to threaten others. The Zarkaks attacked us without warning or reason. We defended ourselves, as any species would." The alien representatives muttered among themselves. A tall, blue-skinned being stood up. "How can we trust Earth now? You hid your true power. You built weapons we thought impossible. What else are you hiding?" Parker smiled diplomatically. "Every species has secrets, honored counselor. Earth simply wishes to be left in peace. The Prometheus is not a threat to peaceful races. It is a shield, not a sword. Back on the Prometheus, the crew watched the council meeting through Cooper's communications link. They saw how Parker carefully answered questions, neither confirming nor denying Earth's other secrets. "He's good," Cooper said admiringly. "He's telling the truth in a way that doesn't reveal everything." Harris agreed. That's his job, to protect Earth's interests while keeping the peace. The council meeting lasted for hours. In the end, they reached a decision. Earth would not be punished for defending itself, but the council would send observers to monitor Earth's space activities. "It's not perfect," Parker told Harris later, back on the Prometheus. "But it's better than war, and now everyone knows not to attack Earth." As the Prometheus prepared to return home, Harris looked at the stars around them. Earth had kept its biggest secrets safe while showing just enough power to earn respect. The galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. Dr. Mary Thompson walked through the underground lab deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. The year was 2045, and Earth had almost ended. A massive solar flare had destroyed most of the world's electronics, leaving humanity struggling to survive. But that disaster had led to Earth's greatest discovery. As she entered the main research chamber, she looked at the object that had changed everything. It was an alien scout ship, barely larger than a car, that had crashed in the Arizona desert just after the solar flare. Dr. Thompson, a young scientist, called out, "We've managed to power up another section of the ship." Thompson smiled, remembering that moment clearly. Now, in 2124, she sat in her office aboard the Prometheus, telling this story to Captain Harris. At 98 years old, she was one of the few people still alive who knew the whole truth. "The scout ship taught us so much," she explained. "Not just about space travel, but about how small and weak humans were compared to other races. We knew we had to get stronger fast." Harris listened carefully. After the battle with the Zarkax and the council meeting, he needed to understand Earth's true history. "Why didn't we tell anyone about the ship?" Thompson pulled up old photos on her tablet. They showed the scout ship and the first human attempts to copy its technology. "Because we found the ship's records. They showed us that most alien races destroy younger civilizations that grow too powerful too quickly." She explained how Earth's governments had come together in secret after finding the ship. They agreed to hide the truth and work together to protect humanity. "The solar flare was awful," Thompson said, "but it gave us the perfect cover story. While the world rebuilt, we copied and improved the alien technology. No one questioned our progress because they thought we were just building back better." Harris looked at more photos. They showed the first human-made shields, based on the scout ship's design but much better. "So we didn't just copy their technology. We made it better." Thompson nodded proudly. "Much better. The ship's shields could only block attacks. We made shields that absorb energy. Their engines needed rare materials. We made engines that work with common elements. Everything we learned, we improved." She showed him the first designs for the Prometheus. "This ship looks like it was built to fight other ships, but really, it was built to fight entire fleets. We knew that when aliens found us, they wouldn't send just one ship." "And the quantum torpedoes?" Harris asked. "Were they from the scout ship too?" "No," Thompson smiled. "Those were completely human-made. When we understood how alien technology worked, we started thinking in new ways. We created weapons that even the advanced races haven't thought of yet." Harris stood and walked to the window, looking at the stars. "Should we tell the council about the scout ship?" "Not yet," Thompson said firmly. "Let them think we developed everything ourselves. It's safer that way. The ship's records showed us that younger races who find alien technology are usually destroyed. The older races think it's too dangerous to let them keep it." She showed him one last file, plans for more ships like the Prometheus. "Earth is building 10 more battleships in secret, each one better than the last. Not because we want war, but because we need to be strong enough that no one will dare start one. Harris thought about the recent battle. The Zarkax thought we were an easy target. They didn't expect us to be so advanced. Exactly, Thompson agreed. And now every race in the galaxy knows not to underestimate Earth. That's what we wanted all along, to be strong enough to be left in peace. As their meeting ended, Thompson gave Harris a data chip. This contains the full history, everything we learned, everything we built. You should know it all, just in case. Harris took the chip, understanding its importance. Earth's greatest secret was now in his hands. The true story of how humanity had gone from a primitive species to a power that scared the galaxy. As he walked back to the bridge, Harris thought about everything he had learned. Earth hadn't just gotten lucky. They had taken another race's technology and made it better. They had kept their progress secret until they were strong enough to survive any attack. The Prometheus wasn't just a ship. It was proof that humans could take alien technology and improve it in ways its creators never imagined. That was what really scared the other races, not just Earth's power, but how quickly and cleverly humans could learn and adapt. Navigation Officer Daniel White stared at his screens in disbelief. The space around Earth was filling with alien ships, not just Zarkax vessels, but ships from 5 other major species. They weren't attacking yet. They were just waiting. "Captain," White called out, "they're positioning themselves around every jump point. They're trying to block us in." Captain Harris studied the tactical display. The alien ships had formed a sphere around Earth's solar system. Their message was clear. Earth was trapped. Rachel Cooper's voice came from the communication station. "Sir, I'm picking up transmissions between the alien fleets. They're planning to demand that we hand over all our technology." The Prometheus had just returned from its meeting with the Galactic Council. They had barely reached Earth's orbit when the alien fleets started arriving. "They're scared," Harris said quietly. "After what we did to the Zarkax, they think we're too dangerous to be left alone. So they're all working together now." A new alert flashed on White's screen. He checked it twice to be sure. "Captain, I think I found something. There's a gap in their blockade. It's small, but the Prometheus could fit through it." Harris walked to White's station. "Show me." White pointed to a spot between 2 alien fleets. "See here." They didn't coordinate perfectly. "There's a blind spot where their sensor networks don't overlap. We could slip through if we're careful. But why would we run?" Lieutenant Foster asked from her tactical station. "Earth needs us here for defense." Harris smiled. "Maybe not. Lieutenant Cooper, send a message to Earth Command. Tell them to launch Operation Surprise." Suddenly, the space around Earth lit up. Hidden doors in the moon opened. Secret bases on Mars revealed themselves. Dozens of ships, all as large as the Prometheus, emerged from their hiding places. "Earth's real fleet," Harris explained to his shocked crew. The Prometheus was just the first. While everyone was watching us, Earth finished building 10 more battleships, each one with different weapons and abilities. The alien fleets reacted with panic. Their transmissions became chaotic as they reported the appearance of Earth's hidden fleet. "Now they know they can't trap us," Harris said. "But we still need to get a message to our allies. That's why we need that gap you found, Mr. White. The Prometheus has a special mission." White quickly plotted a course through the gap. "Ready when you are, sir." "But what allies? I thought Earth was alone out here." "Not quite," Harris replied. "There are other young races like us. Races that found alien technology and kept it secret. We've been in contact with them since we found the scout ship. They're waiting for our signal." Cooper's console lit up with new orders from Earth Command. "Sir, we're authorized to proceed. Earth fleet will create a distraction while we slip through." Harris returned to his chair. "Send word to all crew. Prepare for emergency acceleration. Mr. White, plot us a course through that gap. Once we're clear, we're heading to the Dark Zone." "The Dark Zone?" Foster asked. But that's impossible to navigate. The space there is too twisted for ships to pass through. Impossible for them, Harris corrected. But we've got something they don't. Mr. White. White grinned. I've been working on new navigation calculations. The dark zone isn't really impossible to cross. The aliens just never figured out the right way to plot a course through it. Outside the Prometheus, Earth's hidden fleet engaged the alien blockade. Not to destroy them, but to keep them busy. The space around Earth filled with light as ships maneuvered and weapons fired. Now, Harris ordered, take us through. The Prometheus turned toward the gap in the blockade. Its engines powered up, pushing it forward faster than any alien ship could follow. They shot through the gap before the alien fleets could react. We're clear, White announced. Course set for the dark zone. Time to show the galaxy another human trick. How to fly through space they think is impossible. As the Prometheus sped away from Earth, Harris watched his home disappear behind them. The fate of Earth now depended on their mission. They had to reach their secret allies and bring them back before the alien fleets decided to attack. The real war hadn't started yet, but when it did, Earth wouldn't be fighting alone. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity wasn't the only young race they should have been watching. The Prometheus burst out of the dark zone with 4 alien fleets behind it. But these weren't enemy ships. They were Earth's secret allies. The Centauri, the Rigelians, the Tau Warriors, and the Andromeda Legion, all young races like humanity who had found and improved ancient technology. Captain Harris stood on the bridge, watching Earth grow larger on their main screen. They had been gone for 2 weeks, racing through space that older races thought was impossible to cross. Status of the blockade? Harris asked. Lieutenant Foster checked her tactical display. The alien fleets are still surrounding Earth, sir, but our fleet has kept them busy. No shots fired yet. Everyone's just watching everyone else. Send the signal, Harris ordered. Let's show them what the young races can do together. Cooper transmitted their carefully prepared message to all ships, both friend and foe. The message was simple. The children of the stars have grown up. The time of hiding is over. As if practicing for years, which they had, the 4 allied fleets split into perfect formation around the Prometheus. Each fleet had their own special technologies, their own unique improvements to the ancient designs they had found. The Centauri ships glowed with energy shields even stronger than Earth's. The Rigelian vessels carried weapons that could bend gravity itself. The Tau Warriors had mastered stealth technology that made their ships nearly invisible. And the Andromeda Legion brought massive carriers full of automated fighter craft. All allies report ready, Cooper announced. The older races are. They're panicking, sir. Some ships are already retreating. Harris smiled. Send a message to Earth Command. Operation Unity is ready. Earth's hidden fleet moved in perfect sync with their new allies. The older race's blockade was suddenly caught between 2 forces, Earth's ships on the inside, and the combined young race's fleets on the outside. Open a channel to all ships, Harris ordered. Every ship in this system, friend or foe. When the channel opened, Harris spoke clearly and calmly. This is Captain Robert Harris of the UES Prometheus. To all ships of the elder races, you came here to contain what you thought was one dangerous young race. Instead, you've revealed yourselves to 5 united species who have hidden in the shadows, learning and growing stronger. He paused to let that sink in. We don't want war. We never did. That's why we hid our progress. But we won't be threatened, contained, or controlled. The young races are ready to take their place among the stars. The response was immediate. Several elder race ships simply turned and jumped away. Others stayed, weapons ready but not firing. A transmission came from the largest remaining alien ship. The Galactic Council's supreme leader appeared on screen. The ancient being looked both angry and impressed. You deceived us all, the leader said. Not just Earth, but all of you. Hidden away, stealing and improving technology that wasn't meant for you. No, Harris replied. We didn't steal it. We found the remains of ancient ships and bases that you abandoned. Things you threw away because you thought they couldn't be improved. We proved you wrong." The leader was quiet for a long moment. Finally, it spoke again. "The Council will need to discuss this development. But know that if you force war upon us, we will." Harris cut him off. "Look at your tactical display. Really look. Count our ships. Check their power readings. You started this by trying to bully one young race. How do you think a war with 5 of us would end?" The threat worked. Within hours, the blockade broke up. The elder race's ships retreated, leaving Earth's solar system free once again. On the Prometheus's bridge, the crew finally relaxed. Cooper looked up from her station. Multiple messages coming in from Earth Command. They're celebrating, sir. All our allies are being welcomed to Earth." Harris nodded, watching the combined fleets move into peaceful formations around Earth. "Send a message to all ships. The Prometheus thanks them for their courage today." "Should I also send the story of how this all started?" Cooper asked. "About the scout ship that crashed in Arizona?" "No," Harris said with a smile. "Some secrets should stay secret. Let them wonder how we all managed this. Let them worry about what else we might be capable of." The Prometheus, the ship that had first shown humanity's true power, took up its guard position around Earth. It had struck fear into the stars, yes, but more importantly, it had helped bring together the young races who would shape the future of the galaxy. The elder races had thought they were containing a threat. Instead, they had forced the young races to reveal themselves. And now, the galaxy would never be the same.